The first card you have for your past is the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so this is all right. So this is quite an interesting sequence I'm seeing here. I'm seeing the sequence going down. And I'm just looking at this. I'm looking at the four ones after this. I think I'm going to talk about them together. So, and I think they might be telling you something, these two cards, and I think you already know what they're telling you. But there's a big message to kind of remind you. I think that's what this is. So I'm just going to talk about them together. So, so with this Four of Pentacles, it feels like you're holding on to someone in your heart, and you might still be doing this a bit actually. It's not like, you know, it's not like, oh, I want them so badly, I can't let them go, I'm crazy. It's not that extreme. It doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like anxiety to me or stress, or it just feels like, you know, and also I think you're trying to do something about this. You're aware that this person's still around in your heart, and I think you're trying to kind of move forward. You're trying to do what you're trying to do. That's all good. That's all fine. I'm just getting this, you know, you're going along in your life and everything's fine and whatever. And then every now and again you'll get this feeling, it'll just kind of hit you. Not really horribly. It's not like a big, you know, whack over the head or something. It's just like, oh, you know what? I still miss you. I still really miss you. You know, I just miss you. I can't help it. I don't mean to. That's just how I feel. It's just there. You might even say that inside your head. You might just sit there and go, you know what? I miss you. I still miss you. And you know, you don't call them, you don't text them, you don't do anything crazy like that. You're not annoying. You just stick to yourself. You mind your own business. You do your own thing. You're getting on with your life. You're trying to do what you're doing. But the feeling's still there. Not all the time, but it comes back. That's what I'm getting. It's like everything's fine, and then it comes back, and you sit there saying, well, I really still miss this person. So if this is you, you know this, like you already know this, but this is the message that's here. You're not letting anyone else in, you know, while you're holding on to this old person, you know, because it's just like this man in the Four of Pentacles. He's got the coin over his heart. He's hiding his heart because he's hanging on to someone else. He's protecting his heart. And you know that. No one can come close to you while you're still doing this. And you know, the thing is, you know this logically. You're a smart person, you know this logically, but it's one thing to know something logically, and it's another thing to feel something emotionally. And unless you feel something, it's hard to change that. It's just like manifesting something. You can say to yourself, I want this, I want to do this, I want to achieve this. But unless you truly feel that you can do that, it's not going to happen. That's what the magic is. It's in the feeling. And so, you know, you are going to get there. You are going to get over this. You really are. I think you're on the right track already. So don't stop anything that you do and keep on doing what you're doing. But, you know, I think when you do finally completely let go of them, you'll be able to move on to way, way better things. You know, you've got the Four of Wands here. This is 1111. The gates are going to open for you. You have all these new things coming in for you. You just need to drop these heavy coins that this man in the Four of Pentacles is holding, and drop all that heaviness that you're carrying around, and then you'll be able to get through. Sorry about that noise. So, you know, it might not feel all that heavy to you right now. You might be thinking, oh, I'm not carrying around heaviness. I'm not thinking about this all the time. It just comes in to my feelings sometimes. But I don't think you realise how heavy this is for you. I think it's just when you finally drop these feelings, the last bit of the feelings and the old energy of that person, I think that's when you'll realise. It's like you'll drop them and you'll say, oh, I didn't know that I was carrying this all around with me. I didn't realise. I just had it with me all the time, this energy, and it was just there, and I just got used to it. It's a little bit like, you know, it's a little bit like when people lose a lot of weight, and, you know, they're kind of used to carrying this weight around with them, and it's hard for them to imagine feeling anything else because they're so used to that. But it's only when they lose the weight that they feel that huge difference and this freedom, and they feel so, so different. And they're like, I don't know why I didn't do this sooner. Or they kind of feel like, oh, I just feel totally different. I didn't know because I was so used to carrying that around. So I think that's how you're going to feel when you do drop this. And you will drop this. You will drop this. The heaviness is going to lift. It absolutely is. And that's when you'll realise how much you've been carrying around. But, you know, don't be hard on yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. Just let it all unfold. I know it's not easy, but just let it all unfold, and it will happen in time. It'll happen in the right time for you. So the last card you have, you pass the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so this is what I'm getting here. This is another message to you about this past relationship. So yeah, I think when you take all the emotion out of this, when you take this heaviness, when you take the feelings out, and you just look back on this with a kind of, you know, a critical eye, an objective eye, that's when you can see how imbalanced things actually were between you. And I think if you got back together tomorrow, your feelings might be saying, oh, I might like that. But if you really did do that, you'd be in exactly the same position that you were when you were with them. Imbalance, you know, there was unfairness here, something wasn't right here. And, you know, again, you know that, it's one thing to know something objectively, and it's another thing to feel things. So, you know, if this all resonates, you know, again, you know all this logically, so there's nothing else that you're not doing that you should be doing, really. All you need to do is really just be easy on yourself, just be kind to yourself. It's okay to feel like this. It just means you're someone who loves, and we need more people like that in the world. Some people who, you know, we need people who love really, really deeply. And Cancers are like that. When they love someone, they love super, super, super deeply. And, you know, when you're deep in love with someone, you're buried right down in the ground there. And it can take a long time to dig yourself out of that deep hole that you've got yourself into. It doesn't feel like a hole, I know that, but it's only going to be when you drop that you realise that's what I'm seeing. And you will drop this. So all you need to do really is keep on going down the same path that you're going on, and you just need to take care of yourself. And if you start to feel like, oh, I've got those feelings again, what's wrong with me, I need to get through this quicker, don't do that to yourself. Every time you feel that, do something nice for yourself, love yourself. That's what I'm getting there. And also I'm getting this in the next card that I'm seeing up here, because I'm just looking up here. So for your present, you've got the Queen of Pentacles. And this is another really beautiful, really nurturing card. So again, what this is showing you is, and it's right next to the Four of Pentacles, so it's showing you the difference. With the Four of Pentacles, he's holding on to something old. And that's what you were doing, holding on to this old person, seeing them as gold, seeing them as a beautiful gold coin that's all valuable, and you're holding on to them. The Queen of Pentacles is telling you, you're the gold, you're the value. Hug yourself, love yourself, give yourself that love, give yourself that value that you were giving to this old person. That's how you're going to get through this. Again, every time you feel those feelings, oh, I still miss them, oh, I still feel this for them, give yourself some love. Do something nice for yourself, treat yourself, do something good for yourself, see yourself as that value, and that's how you're going to get through this. That's what I'm seeing in that card. The other thing I'm getting here in the Queen of Pentacles is, yeah, there's a lot of creativity around you. That's what this can be about sometimes. Yeah, where the creativity is, it's really interesting. This is what I'm seeing with you. It's in the way you think. And this is one of your strongest assets, is the way you think, because you don't think in the same way that a lot of other people think. You're a very unusual thinker. And I think maybe a lot of the time, yeah, maybe you have to keep some of your opinions to yourself, actually, because you know people aren't going to listen, or they're going to say, well, that's a bit weird. What are they talking about? I don't understand that. That's way out or crazy. So yeah, you do have a few people around you who are set in their ways, family, people like that. And I think it's hard for you sometimes to find a good fit with people, even with friendships sometimes. So, you know, with some of these things that you have on your mind, some of these very unusual things, I think actually maybe this ex that you've been holding on to a bit, maybe they were receptive and open to some of these ideas that you have. Maybe that was an area where you bonded at the time, and you might be struggling to find someone else who really appreciates that thing about you. But what you've got to realize again is that, you know, that's one side of them, but the other side of them is all the problems came with them. And what I was seeing in the Six of Pentacles is there was some kind of unevenness going on in this relationship. There was some kind of, it was imbalanced in a lot of ways. Things weren't equal. And you don't need that. You don't want that. And you know that. And this is kind of another reminder that, you know, if you're tempted to go back to that, remember the unequalness that was there. So that's another reminder there. And, you know, I think you're able to use this unusual way of thinking to your advantage. And because I'm seeing pentacles, coins everywhere, they're all in this reading. I don't know if this is going to make sense, but I'll try and explain this. Go back over some of your old ideas, because I'm actually seeing a sort of back catalogue, if that makes sense, of ideas. There are things, some of the things you started or you made notes about or you wrote them down and you didn't do anything about these ideas. That's what I'm seeing. I'm actually seeing handwritten sketchbooks or notebooks or something like that. And I think you have some of these things and you might have put them away in a drawer or a cupboard or something like that. So if this is you, get them out, go through the old books, go through all the old notes and things like that. There's something in there that might be quite lucrative for you actually as a business. You know, it might be a product, might be an invention or something, or just some idea you have to help, you know, bring some kind of relief to someone, help to someone, might be some kind of service you can provide. There's something as well in those notebooks, I think, that you might have been trying to manifest. You might have written down, I want to manifest this. I'd like this to happen. Go back and look at that again. See if it's happened. If it hasn't, think about what you can do. Use your unique mind to think about how you can do that, because there are beautiful red roses all over the top of this card, and that's obviously a symbol of manifestation. So, you know, if that makes sense to you, have a look through your old ideas and bring them to use. Do something with them. There's a diamond in there somewhere. There's a good idea in there somewhere. That's what I'm seeing in that card. I hope that makes sense to someone. Okay, so the next card you have your presence, the Ten of Wands. Yes. Again, same as what I'm seeing in the Four of Pentacles. Still carrying around this heaviness. You're still carrying around this burden with you. The message in this card is, I've never seen this in this card before. This is the first time I've seen this. There's a message in here. Now, it looks a bit like he's carrying a tree around with him. It looks like the shape of a tree with these wands. The leaves are at the top. It's kind of clinched in like a little waist, like a little trunk of the tree. And it's all kind of bunched up together with the trunk. But when you look at this tree properly, there aren't any roots on this tree. There's no roots. So there was no stability in this relationship. There were no proper roots in this relationship. That's the message that this card is trying to tell you. So someone still needs to hear that, because you might be thinking, oh, should I go back? Should I do this? No, there were no roots there. There's no stability there. That's what I'm seeing. So, you know, and again, you are going to leave this heaviness. It is going to leave you behind. I wish I could tell you when, but I can't do that. But it is going to happen. But again, keep on going down the road you're going. Keep on taking care of yourself. Whenever you start to fall backwards, whenever you start to get mad at yourself, whenever you start to think, oh, I'm not over them yet, do something really, really nice for yourself. Give yourself that care that, you know, you're trying to hold on to with them. Give yourself that care. Okay, there's something else here I'm seeing in this. Very, very interesting as well. There's this feeling of avoidance. It's a bit like two magnets that are kind of turned around the wrong way and they're repelling each other. It's nothing to do with this relationship. This is something completely different. Okay, so yeah, there's another person here. There's someone you're close to. It's absolutely not this ex. This is someone completely different. I think there's some kind of family connection here or a friend connection, someone you used to be very, very close to platonically, and you're not now. Now, yeah, there's a lot of avoidance between you. It feels like some kind of standoff is going on. You're not backing down, they're not backing down. I'm surprised the Two of Swords isn't here, but it's not. So anyway, I think someone's been hanging on to some kind of a grudge, or, you know, this kind of standoff. It feels very adamant, feels very stubborn to me. And I don't think you wanted to have anything to do with this at all. Someone was against you, they're coming up against you, and you were saying to yourself, I don't want anything to do with this. You can be angry, you can do whatever you want. This has nothing to do with me. I'm keeping out of this. But I think you found yourself having to be involved, because I think you only had two choices. They're making it so difficult for you that you had to take a stand, or the other choice was maybe that they'd walk all over you. So it feels like you had to do something. Okay, so if this is you, if this resonates with you, I think they're eventually going to drop these wands. They're going to drop this burden. They're going to drop this big grudge and this big standoff at some time. They're just going to get so tired, so overburdened with this thing. They are going to back down. And I think this is going to be impossible for you to think of right now. You're going to be, no, they'll never do that. They're so stubborn. They're never going to back down. I'm going to have to fight this forever. They are such a stubborn person. But I'm telling you, this is going to happen. They are going to drop this at some time. It's going to be a huge surprise for you. You're going to be so shocked by this. This is what I'm getting, but they are going to drop this. And it's mental exhaustion with them, emotional exhaustion. There's some kind of big emotional thing that's going to happen, and they're just going to say, no, enough. I can't deal with this. I'm just going to drop this. Huge turnaround here, huge shock for you, big, big surprise. And this surprise is going to bring you so much peace, because when they drop their wands, obviously you're going to be able to drop your wands and just release this whole thing. Absolutely fantastic. I think you've been having this standoff for a while. It's been a big strain on you, but they're going to drop the wands first. Huge relief. That's what I'm getting. Really, really, really good. So if this resonates with you, just know that this big burden is going to drop. I can't tell you when, I wish I could once again, but it is going to drop, just know that. Okay, so the last card you have your presence, the Five of Cups. Yeah, look at this again. This is how they're going to be feeling. Mentally exhausted, emotionally exhausted. I can't carry on anymore. My head's down, I'm tired. I've had enough of all these problems. So, and you know, I don't like seeing anyone in this state, but this is your reading. And so I'm reading this for you. And so I'm happy for you, because it's a huge relief for you. Okay, so the other thing I'm seeing here is still about the same situation, but just prepare for this, because I think they might eventually come back. They might try to talk to you again, probably after all this has died down, sometime well into the future, when everything's died down, when the dust's all settled, when you've moved on. Might even be in a year, might even be longer than that. But they are going to come back. I think they are going to come back and talk to you. They're not going to do it now. It's not going to be soon. It's not going to be straight after this all happens, because I think you wouldn't want to talk to them at this time if it happened now. But it's going to be at some time in the future. I don't know what your reaction's going to be. A lot of things can change between now and that time. All I can say is that the big shock for you in this is this turnaround by them, because they're so stubborn, and to see this backing down coming from them, it's going to be a huge shock and a huge surprise for you if this all resonates with you. And I'm really, really feeling this very, very strongly. So this is what's coming up for you. Okay, so the first card you have for your future is the Page of Pentacles. So yeah, I love this, and I love all this in your future. This is looking really good. So this card can be about hope, looking forward to things, plans, especially learning. A lot of the time this can be about learning, studying. So I think once this big standoff's over, once this is all done, and once this person drops their wands, I have to say this, you are going to feel a little bit lost for a while because you've been dealing with this thing. It's been a job for you. It's been almost like a job for you to deal with this person and this thing and this big burden and all that kind of thing. Once you drop that, it is going to feel very strange. You're going to be like, oh, that's over. Okay, what do I do now? This feels really, really strange. I'm used to having this stress. I'm used to having this on my mind all the time. So, I think from what I'm seeing everywhere in this reading, this past year, it's really been about dealing with, putting out fires, really, dealing with other people, looking toward the past, looking back to the past, all kinds of problems. You've had this standoff, you've had this person you've been carrying in your heart, and I really hate this for you. It's going to be about you. This is going to be you. What do I want? Where do I want to go? What do I want to do now? So I think you've been so used to thinking about other people, what's the next move and all of that. Your focus has been on all of that, everything outside of you. And now it's going to be focusing on you and inside of you and what you want in your future. Because if you look at this card, it's like springtime, newness, freshness, spring flowers, trees, sunlight, all that kind of thing. Now, I think there might be some kind of studying, some kind of learning or something like that that's ahead of you. It feels really fun though. So this is going to be like enjoyable learning. Might just be reading books, might just be picking up things and different subjects you've always been interested in, but you haven't had time to do because there's going to be more time around you. And I think this is something that's going to eventually probably bring you some money coming in, because this is Pentacles and there are Pentacles all over this reading. But for you, I think the enjoyment, the fun comes first and then the money comes after that. So I think this might have something to do with one of these ideas that I was seeing in the Queen of Pentacles, and they're right next to each other as well. So I think it is that, and I hope it is, because I was seeing a very lucrative thing in there, and I was seeing fun and enjoyment and using your imagination and using your mind to create something, to get some money. So that's what I'm seeing there. But yeah, you'll have more time, you'll have more headspace. And I really think this is the year when you're going to be able to let go of the old and follow yourself, follow what you want into the newness, into springtime, into the freshness. Absolutely beautiful. I love this. This is a fantastic reading for you. It's turning into a good one anyway. Okay, so the next card you have for your future is the High Priestess. Okay, so I'm seeing a few similar things in these two cards. So I'm going to talk about them at the same time. So I know this is probably going to sound a bit strange for you, but I am seeing privacy here. And I think you're going to get that time to yourself because you've had all this other stuff in your mind, and now it's time to be by yourself, to think about what you want, to be by yourself. Lots and lots of freedom in that privacy, if that makes sense to you. And yeah, you're distancing yourself. You might be blocking that person in the Ten of Wands. I'm seeing you getting a big distance from that. Now, I am seeing a division here. That's what I'm seeing in the High Priestess, because I'm looking at these two pillars and they're like opposites. So there's one group on one side and another group on the other side. And I think when this person in the Ten of Wands drops their wands, and you do as well, there might be some people who gravitate toward their side, and some other people who gravitate toward your side. And you don't care about sides. That's all very childish for you. You haven't gone back to school, where kids say, oh, I'm on your side, I'm on his side. You're not like that. You're not going to worry about this. But I think with these people who are taking sides, it's going to be quite telling for you. You're going to be thinking, well, okay, this is really showing me what people are really like. Do I have people's loyalty? Do I not? This is what this is showing me.